Hello! Welcome to the Birdsong Knits podcast. This is a knitting and crochet podcast, maybe some other crafts sprinkled throughout, and also books. My name is Elaine. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband and son, and I'm so glad that you're here and that we can chat about crafty things today. Right now it's pretty sunny, but I don't expect that to last. I think that the rain is going to come sneaking in, so hopefully the lighting will be okay. We'll see. Since it's going to be raining, I have a cup of tea. I'm also very tired from a chaotic week, and hopefully this tea will keep me going, even though it has no caffeine. It's just like comfort tea. I'll talk about what we did in the last week at the end, in case you only care about the knitting, which I totally sympathize with. So I'll talk about that stuff at the end. For right now, I hope you have a beverage on your knitting or crocheting or laundry to fold. I watch many a knitting podcast while folding laundry. So I hope you have something to keep you busy. I'm going to take a sip of tea and we'll get started. So we'll get started with what I'm wearing. This is the Anchors summer shirt by Petite Knit. I made this in the summer of 2023. It took me about a month, July 9th to August 11th, 2023. This is a very wearable sweater. And this is a size small. I knit this when I was honestly probably 20 pounds lighter, and it still fits great. So that's a blessing. I can still wear it. Arms fit and everything. I made it in Ella Ray Denim DK. This is the color 122 Sand Wash. And I purchased this yarn while I was on a trip in Omaha, Nebraska, visiting friends. And so I have good memories. I think I've visited that yarn shop twice now. And it's called Personal Threads. And it's lovely. And I enjoyed visiting it. So I have good memories. Did I cast this on when I was there? July 9th, 2023. I want to say that's right when I got home. But I kind of remember picking up needles when I was there too, so maybe I did start it while I was there. I used a US 4 and a US 6 while making it. I don't remember. I'm guessing the smaller size for the ribbing, for all the ribbing, and then 6 for the rest of the body. Yes, so that's what I'm wearing. I'm not going to stand up, but I will put in a picture of me wearing it. Really right when I finished it, so a little lighter, but I'm wearing it with a dress today, and I don't feel like standing up, so you can look at a picture. All right, so let's move on to finished objects, and I have 3, but only one of them with me. So we'll start with the one I have, which is my Barkley Love blanket. So I made this blanket. I started it while saying goodbye to my dog Barkley, and I needed a comfort project, and crocheting a blanket is the comfort project of my choice. And this also had a lot of bright colors, and so it made me very happy. There was a lot of joy mixed in with the sorrow of this blanket. It was like such a, it brought some joy to a very dark time, I think is what I'm trying to say. A very sad time. So this is the Granny Stripes pattern. She just calls it Granny Stripes, by Lucy of Attic 24. Very simple pattern. It's just literally Granny Stripes back and forth. I ended up with a lap Afghan size, and that was not intentional. When I originally cast this on, it's about I want to say it's 42. I think when I first measured it, I'd gotten 48 inches, but I don't think it's quite that wide. I don't know, now maybe with the border it is. Let's do this side. Anyway, when I chained to start, I held it out like this, wanted to do it, but I originally purchased the yarn for this project. I originally purchased it that I used in this project for a knitted blanket, which would have been bigger because the yarn would have gone farther. But crocheting is what I wanted to do, and I had forgotten about the amount of yarn that I would use in crochet versus knit. So I just started it kind of in the dimensions that I wanted, but I couldn't make it as long as I wanted. So it's actually turned out square, which is incredible because I can lay it this way or I can lay it this way, and it really doesn't matter. It's so lovely on my lap. I can't cover my entire body with it. I'm 5'3", but I can cover most of it. And certainly when I'm sitting, let's see, I'll lay it down to see. So having it up here on my shoulders, let's see if I put all it doesn't cover is my toes. It's very close. So when I'm just sitting with it on my lap, this yarn made this blanket. It's incredible. I started this on June 9th and finished it on June 29th, so it took me 20 days. Again, it's crochet, which is faster, easier. And so I started with five sets of 5 mini skeins. Five sets of a 5 mini skein. I'm not really sure why that was hard to say, but that totaled 500 grams, as each set was 100 grams, 5 20-gram minis. And so that totaled 500. And then I also ended up going to her site and buying more yarn to add a border. So I used all the mini skeins, and then I got full skeins, and I did a border. So I used this green, this Mountain Dawn. If I turn it this way, it makes more sense. It's a border because it's going the opposite direction. So that's Mountain Dawn at the green. Nope, that's Citrus Blooms. Citrus Blooms, and this is Mountain Dawn. These are all Cricut Fibers 2-ply sock, the mini skeins and the full skeins. And she has tons of them on Etsy. Beautiful colors. I ended up buying 4 sock sets. So that came with I think it was a full 100-gram skein and then a 20-gram mini. So I have a lot left, and it will make an appearance in my dream knitting later. I used Knit Pick Surefoot sock for the undyed yarn. I used a full 5 skeins for that as well, for the main part of the Afghan, and then I had to buy extra to do the border, and I just bought a ton extras to get free shipping. I love this yarn so much. I will be putting it in more projects. I can't wait to use it again. I feel the same way about the Cricut Fibers, which is why I don't show up in dream knitting. So I just loved the yarn in this project, and I really wish you could touch this. It is so squishy and drapey and cuddly. Oh, we went on a car trip yesterday, and I took it with because I just wanted to have it with me, and I didn't know if I would use it or not. I did, because we ended up driving home very late, and I cuddled under it and tried to sleep while the air conditioning was on for my husband. So it's just so cozy. I'm glad I had it with me. I keep it on my bed because I like to, after I put my son down to bed, I like to knit on my bed. And instead of getting under the covers, I snuggle with this guy, and it is incredible. It's a better view of it. I like the lines horizontal. I don't know why it matters to me, but that's the way it's more pleasing to me. I'll fold it again so you can see some of the different colors. If I could afford to make another one of these, I would do it. It's just, I want to share this with other people, but it's going to not be super easy to take care of. This is not, throw it in the machine wash, the washing machine. It's, not good for that. So, and it can be hard to take care of a big blanket if you can't machine wash it. I totally understand that. I can do that to myself because I made it, and I'm very used to washing hand knits, but I can't do that to anyone else. So while I would make this pattern again, that blanket's one of a kind. Okay, so that's one finished object. The next 2, I'll have to share pictures. We'll start with the first iris sock. That both of these socks are for my mom. They're both called Iris socks. There's Iris socks 1 and Iris socks 2. They're out of the same yarn, except one has a contrast heel. So maybe I can kind of cover these at the same time, and I'll do pictures, however it makes sense. So the pattern is the Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luter. I really like that pattern. My mom specifically chose that pattern because I had made socks for her in that pattern before, and they fit her feet great, she says. So I did that one again. So for the first set, I started on June 19th and finished on June 28th, 2025. And the second set, the second pair, I started on June 28th, right when I finished. I just cast on the next one right away and finished July 2nd. I wanted to use as much yarn of this yarn as I could. Sorry, here's the yarn. So this is what I have left. So I could have done more. The second set, I used a contrast gray, which is unknown. I had no ball band, so I just saw this in my scraps. I had put it in there at some point. I think it's Succulent Fibers. I don't know the colorway. I just grabbed it out of there and thought, okay, that will work. So I used it for the heel cuff and toe. It was a very small cuff because they were ankle socks, or like no show socks, really. They go right below the ankle. I only do 5 rows of ribbing, knit 2, purl 2 ribbing before starting the heel. So I definitely could have done that cuff, that 5-row cuff with this, and I would have liked the look of it better. I probably could have done toes. I don't know. There's 9 grams left here. So for 2 socks, I don't know. It would have been pushing it. But I could have at least done the cuff, which I would have liked. Anyway, she's happy with them. She's wearing them. So we're all happy. This yarn is Miss Babs in Virtual Iris colorway, Miss Babs Sonita, which is discontinued. And the Virtual Iris colorway, which is very pretty, speckly purple, purple blue. My mom was also, she picked the yarn out of my stash, and she was particular that like this was the only one she wanted because it is a little bit thicker. You probably can't tell because there's like nothing to compare it to, right? I guess if I put it on my hand, is it easier to see? She wanted a little bit thicker. So that's that. Last thing I'll say, I used 56 grams of this for the first sock, and I used 36 grams for the second sock of this color. Plus, I only put down 16 grams of the gray. So I don't know how that adds up, but that's how it worked out. Okay. Moving on from finished objects into works in progress. So for the first project is my 4th of July socks. So we celebrated the 4th 2 days ago. We had a party at okay, this is part of my life update, but I'll keep it brief. We hosted a party at our house on the 4th of July because the fireworks are literally across the street. We do walk over there because it's in a park, and anyway, it's so close, so reasonably close that we invite everyone here. We've been doing that for many years, probably a decade, maybe more. And why was I saying that about the 4th? I don't know. I wanted 4th of July socks. I was feeling festive. So I actually went online and ordered these from Etsy. There was someone destashing this yarn. It's the Yarn Brary in the Betsy Ross colorway. It's the Biography sock set. Come on. That doesn't really get less blurry, does it? It's 85.15. 85 extra fine, superwash merino, 15% nylon. It is thin. It's 437 yards to 100 grams, and I feel like I noticed when I put it on. And then it also came with a mini skein, a blue mini skein, which was 20 grams, with 87 yards. Got the next one going, but I'm going to hold up the yarn. So this is the yarn. Just a red, white, and blue speckle. Actually, it's yellow. Which is great for a fireworks color. And then this is the blue. Okay. Also, it was cool. I'll just show this really quickly. When I received it, it's a little beat up now, but you'll get the idea. It came with a little biography of Betsy Ross because, I guess because it's a biography sock set, right? And so you get to learn about her, which was cool. So one sock's done. I ended up, I was afraid of running out using the 20 gram for heels, cuffs, and toes. So I just did the pop of color at the top, which I like. I would love it if it was full blue, but I like this better than not having the blue at all up there. I just think it ties the three together so nicely. So I'd rather either have the cuffs and toes in white and just have the heel in blue, or have it in all three places. So I could have done it all plain too. I mean, you know, it's speckled, it's not striped or anything, but yeah. So this is the Crunkled Socks by KF Jones. That's a pattern. My first time knitting it. I like the Blueberry Waffle Socks a lot, and it's very similar to that. Which one do I like better? Jury's out. I'm undecided. I put these on and I was kind of like, ooh, I felt like there was a little, it didn't feel tight, and yet it seemed like there was a little gapping when I was wearing it, like between the stitches. But when it's like this, it looks fine. I don't know how to do the thing to make it focus. That being said, so legitimately, I might use these as a 4th of July decoration. Does that sound crazy? First of all, it's white. Am I going to just destroy these and get them so filthy dirty? Yeah, eventually my white socks are not going to be so white. And then I was kind of so-so about the fit. But I have these wooden sock blockers that I've hanging on the wall downstairs, and I was thinking how nice it might be. I like to do decorations for the 4th of July because we host the party, and it might be fun to put them on the wall for the 4th. We'll see. Sounds a little crazy. I could also put them away and give them to someone at some point. So that's one finish, and the other one is cast on. A lot of ends, yeah. That's the back side of that stitch marker. Here's the front. So got a little pop of color again at the cuff, and I'm just like covering my mouth. It looks like I have a little, here we go, a mustache. Okay. So that's my 4th of July socks. What didn't I tell you about this project? Let me check. I started on June 30th. I was knitting this on a recent trip that we took. So I was knitting that on the plane and by the pool. So I'll have some memories of that, which is nice. I love to knit my memories into a project. If you want to know, I knit 4 repeats of the crunkle pattern on the leg, and 4.5 before the toe, after the heel. Okay. One more work in progress. Get that. So I really enjoyed crocheting that blanket so much. It was bringing me so much happiness. I decided to cast on another blanket. So this is not for me. This will be for charity. Our family, we had another little boy who passed away when he was 3 days old. His name is Matthew, and he would be 6 in a couple of months. So for his 6th birthday, we are celebrating, among other ways. We are going to take at least 6 handmade items to the hospital that helped us so much during his life, which is Lurie Children's Hospital in the city. Maybe you've heard of it. If you live in Chicago, you probably have, but anyway, they were wonderful. And there's lots of children there who need just some comfort and love. That was one of the most shocking experiences. I've just never experienced childhood sickness like that. And being at the hospital and seeing those sick kids, it's really, it changes the way you think about things. It is heart-wrenching. And anyway, I'm hoping this will bring some joy to them. So I kind of already showed it, but this is the Matthew heart blanket. So Matthew had a heart defect. And so this kind of has mixed, like multiple meanings for me. It represents our love for Matthew and also just his special heart. How cool is this pattern? I just found it and I was like, that's perfect for Matthew. So it's too big to show in the frame. It's supposed to be a baby blanket. We'll see how it ends up. It's probably going to be square like the other one. I think it's almost the same size. I should check. I cast on chained according to the pattern, which is 150. And this is DK. And I'm pretty sure for this blanket, I only chained 125 when I started. So I was like, I'm just going to do what the pattern says, even though I thought about it for a second. I was like, that seems like it could be big, but let's hold these together and see. Okay, not as big. Look. It's like a whole foot, 18 inches shorter. So it'll hopefully be great size. I would love for it to be big enough for a toddler. I feel like babies get a lot of things made for them, which is wonderful. But there are kids there up to 18 years old. And so I would love to have things for them too. So I already have one crochet blanket actually, which is soft and fluffy. It's Bernat Big Blanket. Is that what I used? It's not quite velvety yarn. Anyway, I don't have it right now. Maybe I'll show it another time. I could put a picture here too. But that's full size. That could be for an adult. So they could give that to any of the kids, and it's Christmassy. So I hope I wrote that on the bag when I was packing it away, but it just seems like at Christmas time it might be fun for them to hand that out. So that's that. This is being crocheted using Stylecraft Highland Heathers DK. This is my main color, which is 7230 Brose or Brose. It doesn't have the little thing, but maybe it's Brose. Little accent. And I have 12 different colors. Here's an example. This one's Whiskey 1303. In my Ravelry projects, all the colors are listed. So I got this set, and I'll hold this up again. So this has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This has 10 of the 12 colors. So I'll just do, one round through the 12 and then repeat it. I wrote it down what order I did it in, so I'll just keep repeating that. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say about the yarn. Yes, I originally bought it in a pack. It was a set, a kit, probably is the word I'm looking for, from Attic 24 for her fireside blanket, which I really wanted to make. I still want to make, but I'm not going to. When I got the kit, it included the pattern and everything. I checked my gauge, and I was really off, like enough off that I didn't think I would have enough yarn. I mean, it's a blanket, so if the sizing's a little different, no big deal, but I was worried I would run out of yarn, which I could have bought more, and I could have just made the blanket, but I set it aside. And I actually started the Sweet Shop blanket, which I'm sure you've heard about other places. If not, you can look on Ravelry at the Sweet Shop blanket, but yeah, that's knitting, and I do have a start on it, but it is slow. So I have maybe 5 blocks done on that. I will have yarn. I'm pretty sure I will have quite a bit of yarn left over from this. I'm just going to wait and see how much is left. I use 4 grams for each row. And each skein has... Okay, it's telling me how many yards. Where are the grams? Really? I guess I'll have to look that up. Oh, 100 grams. 100 grams, 297 yards. So if I'm using 4 grams, it should be fine. But for the colors, I only have, of each of the colors, I only have 1 gram, or 1 skein. So we'll just see how it finishes out. When it's done, I will measure what I have left and then determine what project I can do. There's plenty of options. Okay, last notes about that blanket is the pattern is called the Heart Blanket by Marina Nicolaidou. And I started on July 3rd. As soon as we got back from our trip, I started that up. I think the day we got home. Yeah, the day we got home. I really was just itching for more crochet, but I hadn't only taken knitting on my trip. And I started with a G hook, 4.0 millimeter, 4.0 millimeter, just for chaining. And then I went down to an E hook with 3.5 millimeters. And the pattern says it should be 30 inches by 40 inches. So I have not measured what I did so far to see what that width is like, but I'm fine with whatever size it is. So, okay. Dream knitting. That was it for my works in progress. Dream knitting, I'm going to start with, these will be the Mindy socks. These are for my friend Mindy, and she was here and I just got out all my sock yarn and let her pick what she would like me to make her socks with. This will be her first pair for me. And she picked more of the Cricket's fibers, which this is probably my favorite out of the whole 4 sock sets that I got. This one was my favorite, so I'm really excited she picked it because I get to work with it right away. So I don't need any more socks. I'm glad to knit it for somebody else. I just want to be working with it, you know? So this is Cricket's fibers. It's again the oh, what was it called? Was it 2-ply? Yeah, 2-ply sock. She doesn't write that on here, but that's what it says on Ravelry. And it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. This colorway is Crimson Confetti. Hold it there. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, and you know, she wanted a full-length sock, but with the mini, I'll definitely still have leftovers to make another pair of shorty socks for whomever. So I'm excited to make those. Those will be cast on this month for sure. Hopefully in the next week. I need to finish the 4th of July socks and then I'll start those. Oh, let's see, what do I want to do next? Before I do that, let me show you this book. This is also dream knitting that probably won't get cast on right now, but I still want to talk about it. So I got this book from the library. This is not my copy, but I'm going to share it. It's called Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn. On another podcast, I saw someone wearing the sweater that I want to knit from this. Went on Ravelry, looked up the sweater pattern, found it was in this book, and you need to get the book. So then I checked if I could get it from the library, and I could, and I ordered it, like put it on hold right away. I want to make everything in here. There's a good chance I'll be purchasing this book. Okay, I should have probably bookmarked the page. Let me just flip through here and show you some. Okay. They're all good. They're all good. There's lots of mitts. So everything in this book is made with self-striping yarn. I have tons of self-striping yarn, and I love the idea of making something besides socks with it, just for funsies. So I really love these. My son would really like them. I would like them. Look at this crazy pair. Just to keep you on your toes. Give you some interesting construction. Look at these. What? They're incredible. That's the best use of self-striping yarn I've ever seen. That's so cool. Okay, the hats are kind of so-so for me. Probably other people love them. This one's really cute. I'm just gonna keep flipping through here. Look at this cowl. Oh, they're all delicious. That's really cool. That's really cool. These just all excite me. It's such a creative use. All right, I'm skipping the shawls because I'm not a huge shawl knitter anymore because I just found I didn't use them. Although I really want, speaking of dream knitting, apparently I do a lot of dream knitting. I have been wanting to make a wrap for myself and for my grandmother and my husband's grandmother, and I help deliver meals, like Meals on Wheels, to the elderly. I would love to make some for all of them. There's a nursing home across the street. So I want to make a long rectangular wrap. There's approximately 1 million of these on Ravelry. I had so many options to choose from, and I have not chosen. I've just saved them all for now. And then you put a pocket at each end. You know, you put your Kleenex in there, your whatever, cough drops, whatever you need. And then you sit in your chair. If you're sitting up in your bed, like I do at night when I'm knitting, it covers your arms and your upper body and just keeps you warm and cozy. But you know, my legs are always under the blankets anyway, but my top half needs to be out to be knitting. So I want one, and I think other, especially elderly people who are kind of more sedentary, might enjoy it. I'm trying to find a good picture of this sweater, even though it's not the one I was looking for. Oh, I have to show you all these. All right, this one has the writing on it, but it's the biggest one. I just look at, isn't that cool? So you do this one in the contrast color, and then you do the sleeves. Self-strapping sleeves. Brilliant. So brilliant. This one's same thing, but kid version. So cute. Okay, I feel like it's coming next. Here it is. All right, I think this is really cool. Really cool construction. I saw it on this lady, and it looked incredible on her. The picture looks so to me. It's pretty baggy around the body, which is not my favorite look. It looks really boxy. I might actually like that on. I don't know. So the body contrast, and then look, it's knit the long way. It's knit from arm to arm. That's really cool. I wish I had thought to bring the yarn. Ooh. It is. It's up here. Is this it? This is the yarn I want to knit it in. Oh, no, the contrast isn't up there. I have a contrast already picked out too, and it's Cascade Heritage. But this is Freckled Whimsy. I think I only need the one skein. I had checked that. For my size, I only need one skein of... No. Okay, yeah, because it's the contrast color. It says you need... Well, it depends on what my size will be. The smallest, you need 310 yards. Next size 360 yards. Next size 410 yards. Where is it? This one has 437. So yeah, I can knit even up to a medium. And this is Freckled Whimsy. This is from the Monthly Self-Striping Club, June 2024. I love these colors. These are very wearable for me. Like I'll do like a maroony brown for the body, and then this. Whoop! Almost dropped the book. This would be here. I just feel like, yeah, I'm excited about that. Whew. I get excited about all the making in that book. It looks so good. Who was that by? Stephanie. Nope. Yep. Stephanie Lotvin, creator of Telly Bee Knits. Maybe everybody else has already seen this book before me. I need to I'll put it on my Christmas list probably. And if I want to knit the sweater before then, or anything else, I can just get it from the library. Okay. More dream knitting. This will be my biggest segment. I just want to share a few thoughts about this. So I'm going to be teaching, and this is actually crochet. I'm going to be teaching a couple of girls that are friends with my son. One's 8, one's 9. I think she's 9. To crochet. So I taught the 8-year-old already how to knit. I would say we had mixed results. Her mom took off with it and did great. She struggled, and I think it was less. She's got a lot of fine motor skill. I honestly think she would cruise through knitting still. But I think the yarn we used was too fluffy. I wanted to give her a soft yarn. I didn't pick anything like fuzzy or anything or like really fluffy, but it just was a little bit too hard for her to read her knitting. So that's okay. Anyway, I'm gonna the other girl wanted to learn how to crochet, and I think it'll be great for both of them. The one of them loves stuffies so much, and I'm like, I actually made her a stuffed lion. Maybe I'll put a picture here. It's really cute. The pattern was amazing, and it was all YouTube tutorial. It was the cutest lion I could find. There was nothing that compared to it. Once I'd seen that one, I was like, no, I can't knit anything else here. So these are some yarns I picked up to crochet, and where I was going with that stuffy was she loves stuffies. She needs to know how to crochet so she can make her own, right? I need to fit a couple more here. So I went shopping. I wanted to get some, first of all, I don't have any scraps that are worsted weight or DK weight or anything. I have fingering weight, that's it. That's not good for starting with crochet. So I really wanted some cheap beginner yarn. I didn't want to ask my mom for more bits and bobs. She does have them, but she makes scrappy Afghans and stuff, and I didn't want to take her stuff. So anyway, these were 60% off. No, they were 30% off at Hobby Lobby. They started at 99 cents. So I paid like 60 cents for them, which is amazing. So they're small. They're only 50 grams. No, they're only 30 grams, which is great because we're going to be making, on the first day, we're just going to make crochet bracelets. Of course, we'll chain some bracelets, and we'll do some single crochet bracelets. Then we're going to do a little thicker so they can just make a bunch of those. And then we're going to make scrunchies. So we're just going to crochet around these and make scrunchies. I found a YouTube tutorial for that. So that felt like a really economical beginning. And exciting because I didn't want to get like one skein for each of them. I really wanted a wide variety, and just like, I guess that's not a huge variety, but it's enough that I could just put it out and say, okay, pick the color you want for this project, and then for your next project you can do a different color, and you guys, there's no like, this is my color, this is your color. It's just, we're all gonna pick from these. And this I had in my stash. I'll probably save this for the next week or 2 weeks at some point when we do a different project. I was thinking this one would be good for a headband, right? Crochet headband. So when we get there, I'll share this with them as well. It's Quince & Co. Chickadee. I got this in a box set from Stitching the High Notes. I want to say last spring, maybe 2 springs ago. And I just couldn't find the right project for it, I guess. So this is sport weight. The color is Petal 111, and it's 181 yards and 50 grams. So that is in there with the rest, ready for crocheting with the girls. I'm very excited about that. That should be super fun. My son will be at a camp, and they're free, and they will come here and we'll do some girly stuff. So that'll be fun. Okay. Last bit of dream knitting. This is July, so it is time for Christmas in July. So last knitting related thing is Christmas in July. So I definitely want to start some Christmas socks. I think that's what I'm going to make. I'll just do Christmas socks. But I thought I would go through my Christmas bin and see what's in here and share it with you, and maybe we can pick together what I'm going to make. Okay. So I have made socks with this color before, and I don't know how I got another, because I made socks for my son with this colorway and something else, but it's beautiful. I just don't know if I'm going to work with it right now because I feel like I've worked with it really recently. So look at all that sparkle. It's called Silent Night. It's West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Sparkle 4-ply. It says perfect for socks, and I agree. It's incredible sock yarn. There's gonna be a lot of that in here, I think. Look at this one. This is the same company, but it's Gingerbread House, and I haven't knit this one. I think it's Gingerbread House. Oh, it's called Yuletide, but it looks like gingerbread to me. That's what makes me think of. That's in the running. I do like that a lot. Okay, that one's in the running. What about this plain green? I have some sock pattern that I have saved for so long and never knit that has Christmas trees and lace just on the leg. And And I think it's only one row. So it's like you do the cuff, and then you do these Christmas trees and lace, and then you do the rest of the sock. Wouldn't that be fun? This color would be great for it. I don't know. We'll keep looking. This is some leftover West Yorkshire spinner, probably enough for shorty socks. But again, I did these recently, so I probably won't do them right now. This is called Fairy Light Sparkle. More sparkle. We have great yarn. I'm going to put that in the no bin. I don't remember. I really think this is also West Yorkshire spinners. Is it? I don't know. It's very literal Christmas colors, which I do like. I like red and green and Christmas. Just do it all the way. Okay, this will be fun to look at. Ooh, man, I see some good stuff in here. I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember what company I got this kit from, and it's really been a problem for me because I wanted to do it again. It was some kind of Christmas box with yarn and goodies, and I loved it, and I can't even find the receipt for it. So I got this tray, and I put my stitch markers in it, and not all of these came in the kit. This one might have. Well, there's a reason they do this. There's a reason other podcasters do that. Okay, and look at the polar bear. And this little guy, it looks like a teddy in a stocking. So we'll have to use some of these during July while I'm making my socks. Rudolph. These I've had for a while. No idea where I got them. Can't remember now. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Was one an otter? No. The bear and a penguin, I think. These I've had for a while too, so I've got this. Candy cane. Wow, he's really having fun. Okay, candy cane. Another Rudolph. I like that one too. And a stocking. So I've got those in here just so that whenever I start a Christmas project, I know right where those are. Oh yeah, you know what my mom gave me? I'm remembering now, my parents gave me this sock yarn with it came with this pattern. Aren't those going to be fun? I shouldn't have that pattern. Ooh, it's ribbing. I like that. My mom would like that. Okay, I'll set that over there because that's contender for sure. Oh, these are so cute. All right, so I got this set. Did I buy this at Wool & Co? Yep, I did. I bought this at Wool & Co in is it Elgin, Illinois? Best yarn shop in the world. Best one I've ever been to, and it's like an hour from my house, maybe less. So I feel like this is Christmassy colors, and look, these are so cute. Maybe I could just do a few. Yeah, I'll do socks and like a couple of these stockings. I won't do all of them. Hey, there's 9 in this picture. I'll probably do all 9 by Christmas. Would be fun to do a whole garland of these. Look at these little stockings. How's that? The contender. That's gonna bump out the green. Put that in my contender. Sorry, green. There's a year for you, I know. That's some old stash. I don't remember how I got this. It might have been a gift. He's very cute. My son would love him. I don't feel like knitting a stuffy right now, but this is Wicked Chicken's yarn. It's from a long time ago, so I don't know if they still have it, but he is super cute. I love that he's holding a candy cane. Should definitely do that if I make it. Some more goodies, more goodies. Oh, this is leftovers. Look at that goodiness. Who is this? Miss Dyer. I got a Harry Potter color from her a long time ago, and those socks got ruined, and it was devastating. I love this yarn. There's probably a better place to show you where I haven't messed up the winding. That's pretty good. I probably thought this was enough to make one for my son. His feet have gotten huge. His calves have gotten huge, and I don't know anymore. But I'm gonna keep those because even making, you know, those little stockings, ornaments for people, it's got lots of options. Look at this. Freckled Whimsy, this is called, this was from, so last year, I think for 6 months, I did the Christmassy Yarn Club. This was from October 2024. It's a 6-stripe repeat. You, me, and the Christmas tree. She nails it with her colors, and they're all self-striping. I love her clubs. I'm not in one right now because I can't handle the yarn volume. That volume of yarn intake, but I'm putting that one aside because I think I want very literal. Ooh, the lighting is changing. It's getting very cloudy. That's okay. I think I want literal Christmas. I think I want red, white, and green, probably. So this is another contender. This is from my sister-in-law, who knows yarn very well as well. Like my mom and her can buy yarn. Look at that. Ooh, there's a lot of good things I can make with that. This is Little Lionhead Knits. The March Sisters. Oh, this Little Women theme. Oh, I love. 85% superwash BFL, 15% Donegal nip. This doesn't have any nylon in it. What should I make with this? All right, I have to think. It's going in the contender. West Yorkshire spinner. I use this for contrast colors. It's a red. Oh, it probably will be fine. I feel like sometimes on the screen, like on my screen, I think it's gonna show blown out, but maybe for you guys it would be okay. I don't know. The lighting's really changing right now. That's red, but it is an orangey red. I'll say yeah. Let's do this comparison. See the difference. Let go. We let go. Okay. Yeah, definitely different. I have to reconnect those friends. Only a few more. Heritage Knits, Heritage Prints, Cascade Yarns, 25% superwash merino, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I like this. Here's what it looks up. Knits up like. Is it blurry? Can't tell. I'm not gonna make this right now. I love it. I'm glad it's in my stash. I'm not gonna make it right now. This is cotton, good for Christmassy washcloths. Not gonna make that right now, or maybe like a coaster or something, but not right now. More Freckled Whimsy. This one was from May 2024. Oh, this isn't meant to be Christmassy. It's called Strawberry Patch. So this was from her regular self-striping. But look, it's got red, green, yellow, pink. I can definitely do this Christmassy. Oh, I'm so sad with how it's getting blown out. Let me see if I can adjust it without knocking everything over. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. This will be fun. But it doesn't beat out the other two, so I'm gonna put it over there for now. This is another Freckled Whimsy that I had actually wound up and was ready to go on. Ooh, this is a good Christmas color. Look at that. Let me show that layer into the cake where it's not all wrapped up. Oh, that makes me happy to look at. I love Christmas. Christmas in July makes me so happy. Yes. Do you think my husband will tolerate me listening to Christmas music while I work on these? I think so. Maybe? I don't know. Probably not, but I could put it in my headphones. Oh, I'm sorry. That was, just had to look at it. That was from the Christmassy Yarn Club, Freckled Whimsy. Snow joke, it's Christmas. Little pun there. That was from September 2024. I really like those colors. I'm putting it in the contender, although I think because of the pink, it might push it out. Okay. Last thing I'm going to show from my Christmas bin, this is long, sorry, is just some of my Christmassy bags. And this is not an advertisement because I don't know where any of these came from. This came from my friend. If I can, I will share where they came from, but just in general, it's Chris. I don't know. It makes me happy. Let's talk about it. They're all wrinkled from being at the bottom, which is kind of sad, but look at these little gingerbread men. My friend Vicky, who's an incredible maker, made that for me. She makes the coolest stuff. She's a handmade Hamlet on Etsy. She has an Etsy shop. Look, that was an advertisement. Shared her shop. Oh, look at this. Christmas makes me so happy. Look at this stitch marker. Oh man, come. All right, I'm gonna take it off. That's a better idea. Do. Oh, I don't know what shop I got this from. That'll make you happy. It's like a peppermint mocha. It's like a frappe. He's not even that Christmassy, really, but gosh darn it, he's cute. He's so cute. And my mom also had my mom made this one. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. I'm pretty sure I got this one. Oh, this one's from Vicky too. Handmade Hamlet. Also adorable. Fishing animals from the North Pole. I guess there's a cat on there and a lion. It's global animals. Why do I have this in the Christmassy bin? There was a polar bear and a penguin, and I put it in the Christmassy bin. I guess that doesn't need to be there. Okay, there are some in here that my mom made. What's that one shop that makes a ton of bags? And she makes the big ones. I'll put the name if I can remember it. You guys will know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it's pouring out now. Really like this one because it's good at holding a big project. And I've used it in the middle of summer for non-Christmassy projects just because I needed one to fit a sweater. Okay, my mom made these next two. Oh, I didn't see this. She put that on there. That's sweet. Look at these she made me. I gotta make a mom project in the mom made bag, right? Those pretty snowflakes. I think we picked these. I can't remember for sure this one. I think so, but I know this one definitely. I picked out this material at a quilting show we went to, which was super fun. So that has good memories. Yeah. Okay. Yarn from my mom. Bag from my mom. Happening. They match. I've used this one a lot. There are stains on this thing. This is very beloved. I really like the batting she uses. It's thick but flexible. This one is from Herbsplat Creation. Herbsplat Regina, she used to podcast like before my son was born. I don't think she does anymore. I left the podcast knitting Ravelry world for several years after my son was born, and I just I kept knitting, but I couldn't knit at the pace that I was. My mind couldn't focus on it at the way that it was. So when I came back, some people were gone. This one is from Jasmine Bear Handmade, and it's Yoda putting the star up on the Christmas tree. And that one's really cute too. Okay. I have 4 things here that I want to make. It's going to be hard to put some of them away. So I think we've decided on this staying. And that's probably all I should commit to, even though I want to do more. Because July is already almost halfway over. It's not my best start to Christmas in July, but I've never done 4th of July project before, so I really wanted to do that as well. So that took up part of the month and is still taking it up because I have not finished that sock. I think I'm also going to keep out, and I don't know, will I just leave them in here? I think I might keep these out. I'm torn on whether this will be it's going to be a garland. It'll be a great garland. Where will I put, oh yeah, it'd be so cute. That's where stockings go. I have to think about where I would put these. I would love to make one in July. I'm going to keep that up. I found a Christmassy something on the floor. One little lone stitch marker. Christmas tree. Okay. Well, that was fun. Christmassy goodness. I was going to quickly talk about books and what we've been doing, and if this gets so long, then, of course, bow out anytime. I'll just keep talking in case anyone's still here. 2 books I've read recently. Well, one I'm reading right now. So the one I finished recently is called Demon Copperhead. It's by Barbara Kingsolver. This will be different from probably most of my other recommendations because it does have a lot of bad language and kind of inappropriate content. Like, you would never, ever, ever want to listen to it with anyone under the age of 18 around, I would say. But I don't like books that have that kind of stuff in it and are more or less frivolous or, just for fun. It was just such a moving book. It was serious and it was real and raw, and it never felt inappropriate for those things to be in the book. It felt like this is exactly how life would be for someone in this situation. So it felt okay with me that time. And it's just generally, it's about a young man. It starts out when it starts out with his birth and goes up until he's probably 18-ish. What a childhood. And the reality is that some people's lives are like that, and mine is not. And it's so good to be reminded of the reality that other people are living with. That's how I felt reading it, It was just like, we need to be mindful of, one, how privileged I am. I'm saying I because I know that I'm privileged. And just be mindful of what the world is like for other people. So it was a good book. It was amazingly written, and I never felt like she was never preaching, and it wasn't even like she was making any political statements. She was just telling a real story. Okay, so that was one book that I finished, and then after finishing that, I started Playground by Richard Powers. I think it's kind of popular right now. And it is a cool book. I'm 40% through. I find it very interesting. It has many, many storylines going at the same time, which I don't super love in a book. But I do trust that it's going to come together because they always seem to. And each of the characters is very interesting. So I'm just being patient with that portion. Yeah, I like it. So that's what I'm reading right now. And last thing before I go, then I will just chat about what's been happening in our lives lately. And I'll keep it brief, but basically my husband needed to go to Orlando for work, and he was kind enough to let us tag along. We had nothing going on. We've got all kinds of camps and things this summer, and usually we're pretty busy in the summer, but he needed to be there for 3 days. And I was like, literally, we have nothing on those 3 days. Can we please come? And it worked out great. So, we bought tickets for my son and I. My husband already needed a plane ticket, so that was covered. The hotel for the 1 or 2 nights was covered because we stayed an extra day to visit his sister, which he was already planning to do, which was all the more reason I wanted to go, because she's got a new baby and I wanted to see her and both of her kids, and it was great. And they got a new house, so I got to see that. It was a good trip, I think, for our family to go with. So my son and I stayed at the pool as much as possible, at the hotel pool, while Kyle was working. And we went out to eat together, and it was lovely. It was slow and lovely. I love going on trips because it just takes you out of all of the... I'm a stay-at-home mom and homeschooling mom, so our house is my workplace. And it's nice to step away. So like, even if we all have time off and we're all home together and we're all having great family time together at home, it's not the same as going somewhere else and letting all that go for a little bit. So that was really nice. Got a lot of quality time with my son, which was a real blessing. And then we got to see my sister-in-law and her family, which was also really wonderful. So then we came back, and the next day we threw our 4th of July party. I tried to do as much prep work as I can. I'd already decorated, but I still needed to re-clean the floors. I ended up needing to clean the bathrooms again, even though it had only been a week. Maybe it was less than a week. Maybe it was a week, but we were gone half the week. So I don't know. It was dirty. And then prepping all the food. So we did that. We got back midday, I would say, the day before. So we had a good 24 hours to prep. And the party was wonderful. I was feeling pretty worn down, honestly, that day. So I wasn't maybe my best self, but we still had a good time. My husband did a ton of like fireworks with the kids, sparklers and snappy things. And he was, doing this and that with the kids, and that was really fun. Then we walked over to the fireworks, went to bed after 11, got up the next day, and I was prepping for a new trip. We left around noon to go to my cousin's in Indiana to do the big fireworks because it's legal there, and that was super fun. It was really fun. Actually, the best fireworks show I've ever been to. I was like, why do we do it any other way? I understand because it's safer. I do understand that. And especially in places where it's dry. It was not dry in Indiana at all. It was beautiful and green, very lush. I think they've got a lot more rain even than we have in Chicago. And everyone was safe. It was a fabulous time. It was probably my favorite 4th of July party ever. And then we came back. We drove that night. So we got home like 12:30 a.m. this morning. Went to bed. And that's been our busy week. So it'll quiet down now. My son's got camp this week for just the mornings, but then he's got swim lessons in the afternoon and karate a few days. So it'll be a busy week this week too, but definitely different speed, different kind of busy, and hopefully really fun as well. So that's my life update. I think that's it. It's the whole show. I'm sorry for the slanty. I'll figure it out. I'm going to try and figure it out now so I know for next time. But for now, I'm just going to say thank you all for being here. If you listen this long, you're amazing. Thank you for listening to me. Please like, subscribe, all the things so that, you'll know when the next video pops up, and I would love to see you then.